Yo, so I just had to take care of that upload real quick before I left the lefties, right? The lefties that are fleeing the United States. POV by Amala. Let's get to it.
There, it's not gonna. Apparently, a ton of leftists are packing their bags and leaving the United States of America because of you-know-who. Now, they claim they are fleeing a fascist dictatorship, which is cool and all, but
Wait,
you guys
you-know-who?
aren't fleeing a dictatorship. You're moving. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better.
Who's you-know-who?
Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please like and subscribe. Today we're going to talk about this phenomenon of leftists who are deciding to pack up their things and leave the United States. They say they are fleeing a dictatorship, and I'm going to allow somebody to explain this to you because the phrasing he uses is oh so interesting. But apparently leftists are finally putting their money where their mouth is and saying, you know what, if Trump is in power, I will be leaving the US. So we'll have some thoughts on that. Let's watch this video explaining the situation first.
Americans are leaving America, and it is not for vacation. It's for survival. A growing wave of Americans are packing up,
Where they going?
terrified by Trump's dictatorship, Republican fascism, and Democrats' capitulation. Interracial couples, LGBT plus
Where they going?
individuals, people of color, and intelligent people in general are seeing their
What did he just say? Interracial couples, LGBT people, people of color, and intelligent people
Basically human beings.
is wicked wild grouping. Anyway,
Basically
I'll
human
let it
beings.
slide. Let's continue.
with restrictions. In Ireland, U.S. passport
You
applications
should have just said content creators and black content creators and
hit
you know,
their highest level in a decade, up 60%.
gas station attendants. You should just group all human beings.
In just 2 months. France is seeing long-term stay visas for Americans
Whoa.
up 20%. Portugal, Spain, UK, relocation companies can barely keep up with demand. Traffic to Blacksit Global, which helps Black Americans relocate, surged 50% after the election. Some are leaving quietly, like a trans couple in Colorado, because Trump wrongly says there are only 2 genders. States are moving to ban gender care, so they're planning their exit. Google searches for how to leave the US spiked after the election, and real estate deals for Americans in Spain surged before the Golden Visa program was shut down. European culture is different than American culture, and many won't adjust. And of course, Europe has its issues. Immigrations, taxes. Putin expected to take Moldova and then Romania with his eyes on the rest of Europe for the new Russian Empire. But a possibility of another European war is a safer bet than staying in a country that is already a fascist dictatorship.
Did y'all hear that? They said, let's go to somewhere on the brink of war rather than being here in the fascist dictatorship that is the United States of America. Now, y'all got me looking around. Is there a fascist dictatorship behind me? Tell me now. Tell me now if there is. Because I'm living here in the United States and I am, again, looking around and I'm not experiencing it. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. But if you want to put your money where your mouth is, again, and pick up and leave the United States, by all means, best of luck and bon voyage. Now, if you're going over to Europe, one thing is you're probably going to find a lot of similar issues to what we're dealing with here in the United States over there. It's not going to be all that different. And again, you're going to get a culture shock because I think a lot of people are under this idea that the United States is just this horrible, awful place. It's the rat race, it's capitalism, it's misogyny and racism and all the different isms, okay? And they think they're gonna leave the United States and not run into any of those conflicts or not have any conflicts with their ideology whatsoever. Boy, are you wrong. Okay, you're gonna experience the same things elsewhere because a lot of these people, let's be honest, tend to carry their issues with them. What's interesting is when you compare these stories and these ideas to what's—
So you're telling me that wherever they're going, they're gonna be the reason that the place that they're going to will have the problem that they were running away from, considering, you know, the United States. You know what I'm saying? So if a racist motherfucker flees the US and goes to Europe, that racist person, you know what I'm saying, will be the reason that Europe becomes racist, right? Is that what you're saying?
People who are living in blue run cities and states like I am right now in Los Angeles, California, they are jumping out and moving to red run areas, whilst leftists are apparently leaving the United States because they can't stand Donald Trump. It's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out for these individuals. But I have some more examples of people talking about this, so let's get to it.
The New York Times has interviewed 3 Yale professors who decided to flee the United States. All 3 of them study, teach, specialize for decades in the rise of oppressive regimes throughout world history. One of the women in particular, she studies totalitarianism, and she has for years. And when they were like, why are you leaving the United States? She said, the lesson from 1933 is you get out sooner rather than later.
Damn.
And she was like, when Trump was reelected and a lot of my colleagues started to panic, they were trying to calm themselves down, saying, we have checks and balances, we're fine, checks and balances. And she said, it feels like the Titanic. It feels like we're all saying, like, you know, the ship is unsinkable. And she's like, as a historian, all of my work always tells me there is no such thing as a ship that is unsinkable. Truly, like, we have the fight of our lives over the
Just
next,
fill some
like,
water
20,
up
30
in that
years.
bitch, and then, you know what I'm saying?
You just have to be aware.
You're gone.
Because it's not good right now.
Do you have the fight of your life coming over after these like next 20, 30 years? You're sitting in your car on your Apple iPhone making a TikTok. I don't think you have the fight of your life coming. Let's be honest. And I don't think many of these people do. I think a lot of these individuals are quite frankly doing nothing.
So you think this is fear mongering or some
A
shit?
lot of them are sitting on their asses, okay? But they are so moved by the propaganda surrounding this current administration that I guess they're willing to leave the United States, which again, they're gonna take their ideology with them, and that's gonna land however it lands in whatever country they go to. And again, they're gonna run into some of the same issues in the other countries that they move to because they're moving to other Western countries. So it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out for them. Again, if you wanna leave, by all means, you can do exactly that. But this idea that you guys are in the fight of your lives right now, it's just a little ridiculous. And I'm not saying I completely love everything that this administration is doing. I'm still waiting on those Epstein files, which apparently are just not coming out now. What is going on with that? But to think that you are living in a fascist dictatorship or in a world that is on the brink of totalitarianism because of this administration just is simply a little wild to me. It's just a little wild. Now I can think of some examples of authoritarianism and totalitarianism that we sort of softly experienced over the last decade or so, and this is not coming to mind. Donald Trump is not coming to mind. But, you know, these people are not alone. It's not just these individuals on TikTok who are talking about this phenomenon. Celebrities are also joining in the choir of people who want to leave the United States. Here's a clip of Jimmy Kimmel talking to Sarah Silverman about leaving the United States because life must be so hard for them here.
People I know are thinking about where they can get citizenship and
I do
stuff.
have Italian. I did get Italian citizenship.
You do?
I do.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I do have that. And what's going on is as bad as you thought it was gonna be.
Way worse.
It's so much worse. It's just unbelievable. Like, I feel like it's probably even worse than he would like it to be.
Whoa.
What?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do, every once in a while, I'll Google Trump regrets or MAGA regrets just to see all the people that I'm not happy that they're upset and but it makes me hope that maybe this will bring people together.
It's awful. It's just so horrible for Sarah Silverman and Jimmy Kimmel. Can we be so for real right now? They're sitting in a done-up studio. Two Hollywood celebrities who have not wanted for anything in probably so long, talking about how difficult it is to live under the Trump regime and talking about Italian citizenship and how she's so jealous that he's got, you know, the works for Italian citizenship. And I believe he actually has signed off on his citizenship agreement or whatever with the Italian government, some sort of process that he went through. Unbelievable. And they're not alone. Ellen DeGeneres left the United States or fled the United States. Eva Longoria did the same.
Gone?
Richard Gere is on the list of people who left. Rosie O'Donnell, all sort of citing the Trump administration and his recent.
So all these rich folks are all gonna flee to Europe, right? What?
Move back into.
So everybody rich is just gonna flee to Europe. Europe is just gonna be like a continent of like rich motherfuckers. Yo, what if Europe is like a continent of rich motherfuckers? You just start running the world, bro. I'm talking about running everything. Europe might be the center of everything. You let all these billionaires go there, bro. Come on with
power, his dictatorial power for why they've left the United States of America.
it. Country of billionaires. Imagine the infrastructure. Feel me? Or a country like of the top 1% of the world.
Because the celebrities who sit in their ivory towers are truly going to be hit hard
Ivory
by the current
towers.
Trump administration. Do you think these people experience an ounce of regularity or of what the regular average Joe experiences in their daily lives ever in like a year? No. How are they at all impacted by this Trump administration? I'm not sure, other than they're finally being held accountable for their horrible policy prescriptions. And let's be honest, Hollywood celebrities are never truly being held accountable. So if they're using this as an excuse to like double up on their citizenship or go and have a European summer, then I guess that's what they're going to do. But the idea that these people are at all being impacted by this administration in any negative way is just so ludicrous. All this is showing is what we've always known. These celebrities have resources that are just so bountiful in comparison to what the average American has. So if they want to hop over to another country at a moment's notice, they can do exactly
on a private jet, that is. The big one.
Exactly
The big
that.
one.
And I guess you'll bring your ideology with you to that place and you'll be well received, or you won't. But you're not going to find anything that's all that different from what you're experiencing here in the United States. But guys, there's more. Let's watch another TikTok.
Let's
Let's
go.
talk about leaving the United States. I'm happy to share my literal exodus plan, but also just on a moral and ethical level, let's have a discussion. Because I remember in 2016, this was a conversation we were having where we were wondering, should we leave? And a lot of people decided, no, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna fight. And a lot of people stayed. I stayed and I got a law degree and I worked in nonprofit and I started a content creation business where I talk day in and day out about these issues and provide like tangible solutions and things that people can be doing. And you know, it's not groundbreaking work, but I feel like day in and day out, what I'm doing matters. And yet, it hasn't done anything. It didn't change anything. And I'm at a point where I'm personally ready to throw in the towel. And I want to know what people's thoughts are about that. I think there's a lot of people who think that, are ready to leave. It's a really privileged position to take. I fully acknowledge
Very
that.
privileged.
Most people don't have the means to
Extremely
leave. But the United States no
privileged.
longer represents me, who I want to be, the life I want to lead, the society I want to live in. And I have the opportunity to get out. So I'm planning on taking it. You can have all the opinions you want about that, but I want to hear what they are. I think it's a conversation we should be having because I know I'm not alone in this, and there are a lot of people who are thinking about or planning on leaving because
Classic case of I did what I came, I saw, I conquered, I'm dipping now. You feel me? I came, I saw, I ran this motherfucker dry, I'm dipping off now. You feel me? Ain't nothing for me right now. You feel me? I'm full. I've had the dessert, you know, received the t-shirt, now I'm off. You feel me? Now what about, you know what I'm saying? Now what about the dishes that gotta be cleaned up? You feel me? Well, I'm not saying come help me wash the dishes, but like at least leave the tip. Or not even leave the tip, bro. Like, because even the whole thing of leaving the tip, whatever, like that's just, I don't know, bro. It's like expecting me to just feel happy off of some just like, it's just a piece of paper, man. Come on, I'm already getting paid. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate a tip, but I feel like some shit where it could be like more than just money, more than just like a financial investment. You feel me? I feel like, yo, stick around and invest in this company so that it grows and employs more people in this motherfucker. And don't do that from overseas too. Be around, dog, to be on the ground. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be of the land. But I feel like what this whole thing exposes is the fact that people are not of the energy of the environment that they are in. You know what I'm saying? Especially the foreign individuals, the individuals where somewhere down their lineage, you feel me, they had to like, they were foreigners in this land. So obviously it comes naturally to people like that to just dip, because I feel like that's that spiritual connection of like events that just, you know what I'm saying, they're reminded of the fact that, yo, actually ancestrally we not even from here. So yeah, we made our millions and everything like that. We became impactful in the culture of this space. So, you know what I'm saying, since that's done, yeah, probably we, you know what I'm saying, even the celebrity culture is like, it's not even so relevant anymore. You know what I'm saying? So because now that's also a thing, like, these people are not too relevant no more. You feel me? Let's just go back to Europe, man, and just like, I don't know, maybe, but you see, now I'm trying to like connect the whole logic, like where the genesis of the logic is. Yeah, alright.
I don't see a positive outcome of the 2024 election, no matter who wins. So, I don't know, man. I'm ready to throw in the towel. What are your thoughts?
At the end of the day, there's really not all that much to say about this. If you feel as though you are tired of living in the United States of America, you're tired of this culture, you're tired of the political landscape, and you want to move somewhere to catch a break or experience something different, by all means, go ahead and do that. I'm just very curious to hear on the other end of some of these moves, how people are doing and whether or not they feel as though they've truly experienced something different. I feel as though stepping into a separate culture, maybe a European one, maybe it's a little more slowed down, may or may not be beneficial to these individuals. It may even bring about a little bit of appreciation for America once you get separated a little bit and you get a bird's eye view or a separated view of what America truly has to offer you and just how different it is in comparison to other cultures. Now, do I think they're going to be moving in an effort to build a little bit more of appreciation for the country that they came from? No. But whilst these individuals are leaving the United States of America, people to the tune of millions are banging on the southern door trying to get into this country. So the irony is just chef's kiss. I'm all for, you don't appreciate the United States of America, you don't want to be in this political landscape, you can leave, and then we'll take somebody who wants to enjoy the opportunities that this country has, wants to do some good in this country, and swap them. Let's do a little trade system. I'd be more than happy to do that. Now, we are going to hear from one person who actually did leave the United States, apparently, with their family, and they're going to give you their update. Let's hear it.
You know, the longer my family and I are in Canada, the more I see that we believed that American lie. We believe that American lie that, you know, oh, America's the best country on the planet, you know, and we've been chasing that American dream.
The American dream.
I'm gonna say this.
The lie.
Canada just like diet America with like more language restrictions. Like, don't you just have less free speech?
Timu America?
I'm sorry. And if that's wrong, I'm
Timu
sure
America?
the Canadians will let me know in the comments down below. But okay. Anyways, continue.
And you know, with everything that's happening in the USA, my family was like, you know what, we need a break. And I'll tell you, we are finally just exhaling here in Calgary, Alberta. And just today, I was on the playground and I met a gentleman from Tanzania, and he began to tell me about his country. And long story short, in that little exchange, I learned so much about his country, and this is what I love about Canada. The diversity, the kindness of Canadians, plus our USD goes further. And so I've been getting a lot of questions from people about, you know, how do we do this? Right now we're on a 6-month tourist visa here, but I have taken time to put all of the information on not just Canada, but 8 countries in total, how you can live that American dream abroad.
Okay, there you go. We can pause there. Now, she met a man from Tanzania in Canada, and this was apparently a very profound experience because of Canadian diversity. I'm sorry, have we looked at the United States of America? Like the most diverse place? I don't know. It's like the most diverse place, it seems, on planet Earth. If you want to meet a man from Tanzania and have him tell you about his country and tell you his stories, go just about anywhere in the United States and look in a man's direction and ask him a question. You're going to meet a man from somewhere. I don't know. Order an Uber. Was that offensive? I don't know. This is all, you're all capable of these things here in the United States of America, but maybe it takes you, you know, taking a break, going over to another country, getting a chance to breathe a little bit in a different environment for you to realize and see the beauty around you. Mind you, you can possess that here in the United States, but that's your choice. You choose not to. And that's what I think a lot of these individuals do not want to hear. And a lot of times when you are super upset with your surroundings, super downtrodden about the place you're at in life, it can be your own doing. And maybe it takes stepping out of the environment again to breathe and catch a different perspective. And if you need to do that, that's fine. But I wouldn't go blaming America for that position that you have in life and that sort of attitude that you have in your daily life or towards the political landscape here in the United States. Because if you want to go out and meet a random man from Tanzania and have him tell you about his country, you can do that right here, babes. And interestingly enough, a lot of these people are going to be fleeing due to the immigration policy here in the United States, due to the whole ICE thing and the deportations and this move against this rampant illegal immigration here in this country. And what they're going to run into is the immigration systems of other countries. She mentioned a 6-month tourist visa. I will be so interested to and move there and become a citizen. And guess what? You're going to run into an immigration wall, just like every country should have and should support. And that's what you're fleeing here in the United States. Citizens who are begging for their immigration policy and law to actually be utilized and enforced. We'll see. And I do have a little bit of hope that when they go to another country and they find out there's immigration policy there and that they can't just step foot in whatever country they want to be in and live there for as long as they want without contributing anything, hopefully they'll realize, oh, maybe we should do the same in the United States of America. Maybe it is an okay thing to enforce immigration policy upon those who wants to enter our country. Maybe it is okay to ask them to contribute and assimilate, because that's going to be asked of a lot of you all when you move out of the United States and try to go somewhere else. All in all, this is an interesting trend. I'm not at all surprised by this. I heard a lot of leftists say they'd be leaving the United States or attempting to if Donald Trump became president of the US, and it seems like many of them are moving in that direction and using their money, their funds, their resources to do that. And if it makes them happier, if it makes them more fulfilled, for sure, that means they're taking their politics with them, which, is a drop in the bucket at the end of the day, but may provide a little bit of relief from the wokeism and the leftism here in this country. And if they are happier individuals on the other end of this, then I'm happy for them. Even more than that, if it helps them to build a little bit of appreciation for the country that they came from and the opportunities that they are given here, even better, a cherry on top.